Whoa! Good evening, everybody. I've got Uncle Jay White in my face. How did that happen? Let me move him out of the way. How is everybody tonight? I'm Dave England. I'm the host of Wine with Dave. Here's my wine. Again, it's a buttery Chardonnay. Right behind Jay's head. Look at that. This little cartoon right here is the famous Uncle Jay White. And I didn't expect him to show up on this particular shot. It's supposed to be on the other shot. So I'm going to turn him off. Although maybe I could leave him here for a little bit. No, I'll turn him off. I'm going to turn Uncle Jay off because he's going to turn us on in a few minutes. Hey, if you're watching, what I want you to do is just type in the town you're from. Just say, I'm in, boom, Westerly, Cape Cod, wherever. I don't know where you are. This is Wine with Dave, and for the next 59 minutes, it is wine o'clock. And we're going to have a lot of fun. Tonight is my last night of Wine with Dave for the week. I am taking Friday off, and which I'm glad. I get to kind of just take a little break, refresh, have a long weekend, but I will be back Monday. All right. So who is listening? Anna Brucey, Spring Hill, Florida. Hi, Anna Wanna. How are you? You're the girl. I've been thinking of you a lot lately. Oh my gosh. Praying for you. You're going through some stuff. We're all going through stuff, but thank you for coming on. My heart's with you, girl, okay? I don't know if you can see that in the screen. My heart's with you. Who else? Corey Brickery in Providence. Corey's in the house. Like an old family reunion. Listen, you're listening to Wine with Dave, and let me turn this off because you don't need this anymore. Wine o'clock. We all know it's wine o'clock, so we don't need to say that again. Hey, let me get into this, okay? So leave a comment and share the page. Just click on the share button. But if you really like me, just leave a comment. Just say where you're from. Just talk about, I don't know. Tell me how you're feeling. Scale of 1 to 10. Optimistic is a 10. 1 is, it's the end of the world. Okay? And it's okay. We're not judging anybody. Just want to know, are you a 1 or a 10? Or somewhere in between? Hey, Davey, love you so much. You are so special to my heart. You're the best. I miss you. It's bad enough we have to stay 6 feet apart from each other. Can't even really be near anybody. And 3, you're in Florida. And 4, I can't even give you a hug. I can't get one of my famous Anna hugs. One of these days we will. But this is my show. Welcome to the show. I try to have fun. I try to encourage and build up and promote local businesses. Have some bad humor. Some little stuff going on in there. But anyway, I'm going to start the next segment. The next segment is actually interactive. So get your fingers going, okay? I'm going to ask some questions that are interactive. Are we ready for the next segment, which is called Did You Know? Did you know Peru has more pyramids than Egypt? I'll say that again because I stuttered. Peru has more pyramids than Egypt. Did you know? Did you know the original design of Monopoly was circular? Did you know that? Dave Stebbins in the house, reaching Lincoln. Oh, man. Roan Midler, do you promote the Foxy Lady? No, I don't. Not all local businesses. Hey, you're interrupting my segment. Did you know over 2,500 left-handed people are killed a year from using right-handed products? Did you know? I bet you didn't know that. Did you know the lifespan of a squirrel is only 9 years? Did you know that? 9 years. Yes, I said local business. Enough already. 56% of typing is completed by your left hand. Did you know that? I don't know if you knew that. Think about it. The average bed consists of 6 billion dust mites. 6 billion dust mites. Did you know that? Did you know that emus can't walk backwards? Can't do it. They can't do it. The Eiffel Tower has 2,500,000 rivets. Did you know that? And the most fatal car accidents happen on Saturday. Did you know that? If you're just tuning in, this is Wine with Dave, and this is the segment called Did You Know? Here it is, interactive. The average hen lays how many eggs a year? And don't go to Mr. Google. How many eggs a year does a hen lay? Very, very important. Very important to know. Did you know that Iceland consumes more Coca-Cola than any other country? Coca-Cola, Iceland, more than any other country. Oak trees don't produce acorns until they are how old? How many years old does an oak tree have to be to produce a dang acorn? One acorn. How many years? Oak trees. Acorns. How many years? Earth is the only planet not named after a god. And the last interactive, and actually if you put in your answers, you got to say what it is for, like hen, and write the number, okay? That would help. Earth is the only planet not named after a god. And the last one is the average person laughs how many times a day? How many times a day does a person laugh? And that is, did you know? So here we go. Let's see who won. Let's see who won. The first one is the lifespan of a squirrel is how many years? Let's see. Let's see. Sal Socco. Squirrels taste best. However, if you eat them, at least 7 years. That is Bush League, my friend. But you're wrong, actually. They don't live 7 years. And one unhappy couple. Let's see. Anybody else? No. Oh, Jay White. Jay White put it in there. Oh, Jay White, 9. Is that the average person laughs how many times a day, or a squirrel's life? Oh, I can see him off camera. He's going to Google. Jay, you're cheating. He spun right around. You're cheating, dude. You ready? Here's the answers. Here's the answers. The lifespan of a squirrel is 9 years old. They don't live to 10, my folks. The average hen lays how many eggs? Sal says 300. He is wrong. Corey Berkery. I like her answer. She doesn't say 100. She goes, like 100? Corey, how many eggs does a hen lay? Like 100? Are you a millennial? You actually got it wrong. And I laugh about 3,000 times a day. Everyone's saying 998. I don't know what the answer is to. How many times a day you laugh, or how old a squirrel? All right, squirrel's done. 9. What's next? It's 228 eggs a year. One fat hen lays 228 eggs a year, okay? Iceland consumes more Coca-Cola than any other country. That's crazy. Oak trees. Here we go. Put in tree and then your answer. Just tree, answer. Oak trees don't produce acorns until they are how old? I'm going to give us a little extra time here. How old? Jay White says 9. Corey Berkery, I'm like a millennial. Corey says 100 was about a tree. That sounds like an indie film. 100 was about a tree. All those indie. My daughter's wicked into these indie films, and they're all about a girl falls in love with a boy, but the boy has to live in like this house because he can't go out in the sun. He'll melt, and it's like this kid has a weird disease, and she's in love with him, and eventually he comes out, and they get to have a date, and then he dies on the beach, and that's the title of a movie like that. I'm like a millennial. That would be the classic indie title. I digress. Let me get back to the show. Jay White says 9 for tree. No, that's too young, Jay. Oak trees don't produce acorns. Casey Martin says 60. You are very close, my friend, and thanks for showing up, Casey. But it's not 60. 50. Boom, 50. You got to be 50-year-old tree to produce some acorns. Yeah. Do they have AARP for trees? It's a buttery Chardonnay, folks. If you're just tuning in, it's Wine with Dave. We got a guest on. We got some fun stuff. Last one. The average person laughs how many times a day? How many times a day? I don't think anyone answered that. Corey might have said like 100. You would, girl, but I don't know. The average person laughs 10 times a day. And this ain't one of them. No one's laughing at me. No one laughs at me. No one thinks I'm funny. Corey says, I can't wait until I start to produce acorns. You got like 40 years to go. You're like 10 years old. All right. Are we ready for the next segment? The next segment is, what national day is it? And you know what it is? Casey Martin laughing 87 times a day. That's awesome. Yeah, you do laugh a lot, my friend. It is National Package Design Day. Did you know that? It's National Package Design Day. On May 7th each year, we celebrate the art of packaging design as well as design professionals. I'm actually a package designer too. I've worked with some big brands, so just throwing that out there. See, I'm trying to build up the local community. It's not Foxy Lady Room, but it's close. Here's an interesting fact about package design. With the exception of fast food, more money is spent marketing cereal to children than any other type of food. Is that crazy? When a cartoon character gazes into our eyes from a cereal box, it increases our trust in the brand and our connection with it. And that's really, really interesting. What I'm about to say is going to blow your mind, and when you go down the grocery aisle, you will never look at cereal boxes again. I freaking guarantee it. Check this out. Yale and Cornell University researchers visited 10 grocery stores in New York and Connecticut, where they studied the gazes of 57 cereal characters targeted at children. They found that most of the cartoon characters on cereal boxes looked downward at the kids. They looked downward from the lower shelves by about 10 degrees on an average. From 4 feet away, they were staring on average at a height of about 20 inches, which means they were often gazing directly into the eyes of passing children. They know the average age of a kid who wants cereal, where their eyes would be, and they made sure the cartoon characters were looking down on them. Next time you go shopping, you go in your cupboard right now, if they still call it a cupboard, and pull out and look at it. If there's a cartoon character, 80% of them look down. All right? The 29 characters studied on brands targeted at adults, okay, looked upwards very slightly or straight ahead from the upper shelves to connect. It's all about connect. That's why I'm looking at the camera. I could look down here at the notes, but I'm not connecting with you. Right now, folks, I'm connecting with you because I'm looking at you, so you should believe me. This little thing that we got going on right here, this is what they do on cereal boxes. You want to see something? Check this out. You are going to be blown away when I show you this. Check this out. Rice Krispies. We all know Rice Krispies. Snack, crackle, and pop. Snap, crackle, and pop. All right? Look at him. Look at Snap. He's looking down. Crackle. Looking down. Pop. Looking down. Look at this. Frosted Flakes. Tony Tiger. Looking down. Honey Smacks. Look at that frog from Honey Smacks. Looking down. Looking down. Cocoa Puffs. I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Looking down. Fruit Loops. What? Are you kidding me? Yes. Toucan Sam is looking down. Is that crazy? You're never going to go shopping and look at the same thing the same way ever again. They're all looking down to target our kids. Package design. National Package Design Day. Is that cool? What do we got? Casey said, still buying my Fruity Pebbles regardless of the children they're standing at. Corey, I believe you, Dave. Sal, what if they put the cereal on lower shelf? Well, because it's not easy for the parents to pick up. If the parents they did that study too. Don't have time for it because it's not a package design thing. That's more of an economics thing. If they put it lower on the shelf, the parent look at it and go, I don't want to grab that. Let me just grab this. This is okay, little Jimmy. And they'll grab another one. It's got to be up near where the parents are, but it's got to be looking down at the kids. Very smart. This next thing is going to blow you away. You ready for this? This is cray cray. I want you to look at this. This was a study. Where am I? Over here? Right here. This box on the left is the real tricks box. The one on the right is a trick. Researchers also showed 63 university students cereal boxes. Did I just read that? In which the character's gaze had been digitally manipulated. See the rabbit on the right? All they did is move his pupils up into the middle, looking directly at you. The one over there on the left, looking down. Check this out. It was digitally manipulated. When the character looked into the eyes of students, okay, these are adults, they reported feeling a greater connection to the cereal. 63 university students. Feelings of trust were also slightly higher than when the character was looking elsewhere. The students were offered a choice of Trix or Fruity Pebbles by redirecting the fake Trix rabbit's gaze into the eyes of the students. Guess what happened? The percentage who opted for that brand, right here, right there, the ones who opted for that brand rose from 48% to 61%. But they didn't tell them what they did. They just had random boxes. It went up 61%. What's that? 10, 11, 12, 13% more sales. Folks, the original on the left is the box, is the true one. The box on the right was a more popular with university students because it looked directly at them. Crazy. I told you you're going to go shopping. You're not going to see the same thing twice. All right, we're on to the next segment of Wine with Dave. Let me just have a little buttery Chardonnay. Type in where you're coming from. It'd be really, really good to know where you're coming from. Courtney Bertrand, good evening, Dave. Good evening, Courtney. Thanks for coming on. My show is really blowing up. I'm on episode, what am I on episode? I'm on episode 27. I've been doing this for 27 fun weeks. Let me look at you so you can trust me. Okay. National Packaging Day. Show cereal. Tomorrow night, I'm taking the night off. But guess what? Tonight, you're in for a treat. Uncle Jay White, the Rhode Island godfather of business networking, is in the house. If you are in business in Rhode Island and Southern Mass, then you probably went to one of Jay's events. This guy has accomplished so much and has given and given and given to the community to help people connect. I kind of wonder how many millions of dollars he has generated, and I am absolutely serious, by connecting people. They connect, they've never met before, they share business cards, they do business. It would be amazing to know that number before this guy leaves the planet. And I don't think he's leaving right away because he's got a lot of energy. But check this out. There he is, Mr. Jay White. How are you, sir?
Good, Dave. How are you doing tonight?
I am doing fabulous. You know what? I am going to take my hat off to you because, not to show you my newly cropped do, but because I really thought about that recently today. All the people that you have connected with and helped connect, I would love to know that number. Wouldn't that? It's got to be in the millions.
How many people I connected with? Or
Nope. You've had networking events. You're like the guy that does it in Rhode Island. You've had these networking events, coffees
yeah,
and the traveling breakfast with Uncle Jay, and I've known you as long as I've been in business, and because of your networking, people have come together that didn't know each other. That's the whole point of it. Trading business cards, they end up doing business together. I wonder how much money was generated by them being at one of your events. That's my question.
my question is, I wish I had 10% of all of
I know.
it. Every now and then, jokingly, I tell everybody that I connect. I said I get 10% of all the deals that happen here. And that's like joking. Everybody's comfortable with that, but yeah, that would be an interesting figure. I'll tell you one thing that just happened last week.
Yeah.
Speaking with networking, and people get all over the place. I had a woman from Florida contact me. She went to one of the Ocean State Business Expos. She met me once, kept the card. She got on my newsletter. She's been in Florida her whole life, but she came up here for something at the Cape, found out about the event. She showed up, and she sends me something the other day. She's got some stuff she wants me to take a peek at. So it's great. I mean, you get to see a lot of great people. Every now and then there's 2 or 3 people who are not so great, but that's all right. That comes with everything.
Comes with everything. But really, I know you don't know that number, but it's got to be hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, where it would have been really good if we just put out a word out there to the community. Hey, if you ever gone to an Uncle Jay event and you met someone, you did business with them, just text us, and we're collecting a number. It's got to be in the millions. It's got to be.
Well, I don't know if it's quite to be, like a million or anything, but it's quite a bit. And I mean, there's people still doing business that met 15 years ago at an event.
All right, so you help the Rhode Island economy grow by $38. Great. I'm just trying to encourage you.
Thank you, Dave.
38 lousy bucks.
Yeah, it's $1,038,000.
So now I put my hat back on. All right, yeah. We're done.
That didn't last long.
We're shutting down. Cancel him. Take off your earpiece and just run out the. Hey,
I'm the godfather of networking. You shut me down, I'll have you taken care of.
I'm sure you will.
I still do know a couple of those guys.
I'm sure you. You've told me some. Yes.
I spent 5 years on Federal Hill. I got one favor left. Don't make it you.
I run really fast. I'm a Swede. I'm neutral. I'm a neutral nation guy.
Yeah, but you guys run backwards every now and then.
Hey, we don't have COVID virus like you guys. Hey, actually, I'm an American. And actually, I'm half Irish, so I would have a problem with you Italians. Anyway, let's get back. Uncle Jay. So Uncle Jay White, I've heard it everywhere. It's been everywhere for years. And I think I asked you once, where did you get the moniker Uncle Jay?
Well, I'll tell you, usually I tell everybody it's a long story, and I think tonight we got enough time to tell it. So basically, probably about 15 years ago, in a mastermind group. And the one thing that he said at the mastermind group was you have to differentiate yourself. You got to make yourself different.
Mm-hmm.
Now, needless to say that I at the time I did not know what the hell he was saying because I was working at CompUSA selling computers. We had 15 other guys selling computers. So how do you differentiate? And I couldn't figure out anything. I put a lot of time and effort into it. But the short story is I just kept thinking about it. And one day my sister had a get together, a family get together at her house. At the time, my brother's three daughters came running around the back of the house. They said, "Uncle Jay's here. Uncle Jay's here." So I said to my brother, I said, "Did you put them up to that?" And he said, "No." And I said, "All right." Uncle Jay started to tick. So I go to CompUSA the next day. We have a so we always had a we
Hold
always
one
had a
second.
morning meeting.
I just
So
hold on. I just lost your feed. You went to CompUSA the next day. What happened?
I go to CompUSA the next day. I change my name badge from Jay to Uncle Jay. So I don't know what happened, but the manager after the meeting says, "Come and see me in the office. I got to talk to you." I said, "Okay." So I go into the office. He looks at me. Now here's a guy who sees me every day, sees my name badge, but you see, you work with everybody. Their name badge is there, but you don't notice it because you work with them every day. So I'm in the office. He says to me, he says, "When did you change your name badge?" So I said, "I just did it this morning." He said, "Well, look, normally we can't put nicknames on name badges, but let's leave it on there, see if anybody says anything." So that's basically where Uncle Jay started from. And I just kept carrying it on from there. And the rest, as they say, is history.
Wow, Uncle Jay. That's amazing. And there's something I want to show. I want to put this on the screen because it's a drawing that someone made. I want to know the history of this. This is on almost every one of your marketing pieces. And oh, it's really tiny. Look at that. Oh, he's on my head. So you can't see it because you're on Skype. But this is you, the character of you with a floaty. So that's on everything. That's like so cool. Well done, by the way. Who did
Thank you.
that?
I did actually.
You
The
did.
character, yeah, the head, and I get the artwork to prove it. I'll show it to you. I think you'd appreciate it. So I had a caricature done while we were down in Florida one time,
Yeah.
and always kept the caricature because it was okay, it was neat. And being in the printing business many years ago, I subscribed to a service who sent you clip art and a few other things monthly. So I actually cut and pasted the head onto that caricature or the body there, and I just kept it there for a while. And always had it in black and white. But kudos to you, you colorized it and made it, up to the 20th century
I
or
gave you a
20,
tan.
whatever. Thank you.
I gave you a tan, albeit Asian tan, but still a tan.
Tan is a tan.
Tan is tan. Sal says Ice Station Zebra. He's being random this week. He's a random guy. That looks like a psychotic rodent on both boxes. Oh, he's talking about the cereal. And Courtney is, I'm coming to you from my kitchen. Cool. Bill Parmentier, hola. Hola. Bill, you're 2 days late. We had Cinco de Mayo night on the 5th. That was great. But good seeing hola. I miss Yo, though. Tricks are for kids. What do you think of that, Jay, huh? Are you going to look at cereal the same way again?
No.
Rick Greenwood, who's got less hair? And Corey Berkery says Best Buy. Best Buy. Let me shrink this guy. I'm going to shrink him. I'm going to put him on my shoulder for the remainder of the interview because I just think he's cute. I got a J on my shoulder. I could blow him off. Oh, check this out. Can I blow him off? Watch this. Watch this. Jay, this is me blowing you off. I just blew off the animation. You can't see any what I'm doing, so you're like, what are you doing? How did you start networking? Tell me about your beginnings.
Well, it was kind of funny because it all kind of like started at Dave Nash he was the president of the chamber, Central Rhode Island Chamber at the time. And, he asked me to do a couple of things because I was still working at CompUSA. He promoted a show with Seth Godin
Yeah.
one time.
Whoa. Yeah.
He brought Seth up to CCRI, and then, I didn't know anything about networking, chambers of commerce, BNI, any of that stuff. So Dave and I, we just did, he gave me a little bit of training and stuff. And the networking really started when I went to work at Best Buy, because they started a program, Best Buy for Business. And Dave told me, he says, well, what you guys should do is have a coffee hour in the morning. And I thought about it. I presented it to Best Buy. It took like about 6 months to get them to, get everything done. But we eventually got the coffee hours started there. That was the initial last Friday coffee.
Mm.
We had it at Best Buy every last Friday of the month. So we ran that for about a year and a half. Then location because they open early. We actually opened up the store at 8 o'clock in the morning when normally they open at 10.
Mm-hmm.
So we opened up at 8. We had a coffee hour. The first coffee hour that we had at Best Buy, the store sold $5,600 worth of stuff because they let everybody buy. And unfortunately, Best Buy really never grasped the whole concept, because you would think that with one store selling $5,600 before the store opened, you think that all the other stores would say, hey, what the hell's going on over there?
Yeah.
And they never did anything.
I did not know that. That would have been a great concept for a big box store to do. Have networking in the morning at all their stores.
So the clicker is, we ran it for about a year and a half. So come around after Christmas, the first meeting we had in January. So the manager said to me, he said, Jay, what do you got? He said, well, somebody said to him, well, we don't have enough labor hours. So what do you mean by labor hours? He says, I come in and one other guy comes in, when they have the regular staff that does all, puts everything back on the shelf, early in the morning. So what they did was they said, well, we can't have the coffee hour. And I'm like, I get all of these people coming. I'm scrambling. So luckily, called my friend over at Sam's Club, which was in the next, building where everybody knows where Sam's Club is.
Yep.
And said, can you help me out? I said, I got people coming the end of the month. You want to have a coffee hour over there? He said, let me call you back. Because retail is really kind of funky when you do anything out of the box. So she called me back. She said, yeah, bring them on over. So what, that in essence started, having coffee hours at other different locations. So Best Buy could have had the coffee hour forever, but that's what they, I used to always joke with them. I said, well, if it's not in the 3-ring binder, you guys can't do it. And they said basically, yeah. So it was a good thing that they, that they did cut it out, because I think we reached a lot more people than if we had stayed at one location for years.
Yeah, because you couldn't run all of them and all of the whole chain, but, and it's not something to franchise, right? It's just an idea.
Right. Well, I mean, even if they took the idea and ran with it, that would have been fine. But they never did that. And especially when they had their program just starting out called Best Buy for Business.
Yeah.
But enough about those other guys.
Yeah, enough of them, right? Roan says, oh, it's Wine with Dave, not Whine with Dave. Got it. Yeah, it's Wine with Dave. It's Wine with Dave, yeah. Wow, that's a bummer. But yeah, you did reach more people. So how did the Uncle Jay part, though, start? We know how you got your name, but how did the Uncle Jay's networking start?
Well, yeah, that's another thing that, and I keep going back, but I owe Dave Nash, I anytime I see him, I blame him for all of this stuff happening. But we come up with the Traveling Breakfast Network because we were traveling all over the place. But the newsletter. Now, back in those days, I didn't do constant contact like we do now. I just sent out information on Outlook. And one time I just scrambled. I had a lot of things to do. I couldn't, send it out like I normally sent it out. You send 50 at a time before they shut you down, all that crazy stuff. Yeah. So I sent 400 invitations out. So I got shut down from Outlook, and all this other stuff started to happen. And luckily, I found constant contact. So that's when the networking newsletter started taking place.
New technology made you dig deep and do something more branded. Yeah,
Yep.
that's when I probably met you during the Uncle Jay times. So what's going to happen with networking once this pandemic ends?
Well, my question to everybody now is everybody and their brothers doing Zoom meetings. Some people are actually charging $20. Some people are charging $5. Why, I don't know, because we're just trying to keep networking rolling. But hopefully, and Zoom is good and everything. And again, you can pick up a lot more contacts at Zoom meetings because everybody's there. Their names all posted. So I mean, if you take their names, go into something like LinkedIn, and try to connect with those people, that'll be another way for you to increase your network while we're not, getting together networking. But it's going to be interesting because I tell people, or I ask people now, if the governor said that June 1st we could all do everything that we used to do, we could have networking events, when would you feel comfortable? Would you go out right away without a mask and, no hand sanitizer, just like normal, or would you wait a while?
Mm.
So I think what's going to happen is things going to happen, like you're going to trickle. I mean, it's not worth it really to have a coffee hour and only have 5 people there. But May 22nd, this is a little bit of breaking news. I might be doing an event with the Chamber of Commerce, and they won't be mentioned right now. But they said to me, why don't, I don't know if she knows anything behind the scenes, but she said to me, let's go ahead with that May 22nd coffee hour.
Wow.
So the next one in the works, and I'm going to reach out and, finalize everything. And if it goes, maybe it'll be the start of, people getting back networking. And I think a lot of people, we're not going to be shaking hands and we're not going to be hugging and all that other stuff. But, that's okay too. Even said, the regular normal flu, if we didn't shake hands, that number would be cut in half. So it's interesting how, some of this stuff comes out and, we might shake hands again just because, we might get the flu.
Yeah.
So I think it'll take a while. We get all these figures coming out. It's going to be anywhere from 12 to 24 months before there's a vaccine. And the quickest vaccine to come onto the market was, I guess, Ebola. It took 5 years to get a vaccine for that. I think that if we don't get a vaccine shortly, now I mean shortly, like 6 to 12 months, things are going to be really, really tough. But networking, I think eventually, no matter what time frame, it's going to come back where everybody's going to, we're all going to meet. Because I think people will get bored of Zoom,
Yeah. I mean, it's good. I'm not getting bored doing this, so this is kind of like a Zoom thing, but it's a one-way Zoom going out. Although it is 2 ways. People leave comments like this guy. He wants me to say, Gina's not my governor. Rhode Midler, old friend of mine, very old friend. He's very old and decrepit. What do you think of Gina? You think she's is she being overly cautious? You think she's being right in the middle cautious, or what?
In a strange way, I think she's being too motherly. She keeps telling everybody to obey the rules. Well, how about follow the guidelines? That's more of an adult phrase that I think people would appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
They've all been put into a situation where they never, they never anticipated this stuff. A lot of the states didn't, they don't have anything prepared for any kind of, emergency. So, she's doing a good job. But, the thing is, you got to get the reporters back in there. The reporters have to be there to ask follow-up questions. It's not going to be all pristine and, we're just going to get questions from these people. If you got a room big enough, you can put, 6, 12 reporters into a room and have them ask questions.
There you go.
So, I know it's not a, one way or the other answer, but, it's something that's tough and we all have to act like adults and, follow the guidelines.
Right, there you go. Hey, let me just ask a quick question. Do you know a joke? Do you have a joke ready? Not right now, but do you have a joke?
I got tons of jokes, but most of them I can't tell.
Well, I'm gonna bring you on because I'm looking at my notes. I completely forgot to find a joke. So I'm going to bring you back on the end of the night, which is right at 10, if you don't mind. We're going to have an Uncle Jay
You want
joke.
me to tell you a joke now? It's a sister-in-law joke. Is everybody okay with that?
You could. I got a couple more questions first, but go for it.
Go ahead. All right. So the thing is, you just talked about Gina, and against her best wishes, I took a walk down the beach last week. So, like anybody who takes a walk on the beach, lo and behold, there's something sticking out of the sand, and I pick it up. It's a genie's lamp. So all of a sudden, what am I going to do? I rub the genie's lamp. So all of a sudden, the genie comes out. He says, just like every other genie, I can grant you 3 wishes. I said, okay. I said, that's great. He says, but there's a catch. He says, whatever I give you, I give your sister-in-law twice as much. I said, that's fine. I said, I got no problem with that. So what would you like for your first wish? My first wish, I'd like $1 million. He says, great. He says, you got but I'm giving your sister-in-law $2 million. I said, no problem. Give it to her. I don't have no problem with that. Second thing is, what's your second wish? I said, well, I'd like a Rolls Royce. He said, if I give you one, I'm going to have to give your sister-in-law 2. I said, no problem. He said, what would you like for your third wish? I said, beat me half to death.
You should have saved that one. That's a good one. Uncle Jay, that's clever. That's good stuff right there. Cigar networking. Talk about that. That's a big thing in New England. Everyone's doing cigar network. Well, not everyone, but you're doing one that's really awesome.
Yep, and our compatriot Sal is on the line. Sal was the instigator for that. I just think I came along as his sidekick. But it's a great thing because it's a little bit different networking. The crowd isn't as big, but you know what? And I tell everybody that is you will have more fun at that, and you will have a better conversation than you've had all month at those, because everybody just lets loose a little bit. Yeah. Everybody relaxes. Everything is covered from A to Z, every kind of topic. We've done a lot of that stuff, and it's been great. And it's as our buddy Jeff Deckman says, it's one of the best. He always looks forward to that.
Right.
He leads the previous event. So hopefully, May 26th, and I don't know, I think, again, getting back to Gina, she opened things up a little bit today. So she said there's only 5 people, but how are you going to find out when you're in the back room of a cigar bar?
Right. That is the most intellectually stimulating event that I go to. Rhode says, I agree with Uncle Jay. Follow the guidelines, not obey the rules. Yeah, that's great. So Sal and you have that thing going. It's great. And I don't know, women think they're not allowed or something. Women are allowed to this thing. And you've had a few.
Yeah, we've had a couple at the last one that we had. And everybody thinks they think of a cigar bar with smoke and all this other stuff. Actually, the cigar bar would be the best place to ride out the pandemic, because they have more filtration systems, and I think that place, I miss it because it's right next to where I work, and I can occasionally in the middle of the day go over there. You can relax like you wouldn't believe at that place.
Yeah, it's really relaxing.
Yep. So with my next conversation with Gina, I'm going to tell her to open up all the cigar bars.
Yeah, tell her. Steve Mason getting some sound feedback. I don't know why. Is it echoey for Jay or echoey for me? That's the question.
I can get it perfectly.
Rhode says, all the way from Nashville, Tennessee. Actually, I don't think he's there anymore. I don't know where he is. You should change it to wine and pills with Dave. Well, hang in there, Rhode, because I've got a professional comedian, a real deal, in 2 weeks, and he's nicknaming it Drugs with Dave. So let me see. Feedback's coming from Jay. Interesting. I'll turn it down on my computer here, so maybe just tell me if it's gotten better. Just say better or not good. That's good. Cigar networking. So how do you network now? Are you definitely in the Zoom world? You're really going down that road?
Yeah, I'm still, I'm zooming, I guess, whatever the terminology is. There's a few different ones here and there, so you get to meet different people. And new people show up, which is kind of like, well, are you guys going to be doing this a year from now? So I don't know if they just don't want to get out and socialize, or they can't. I mean, a couple of the events I've been to, I mean, people from Connecticut who would probably never come up here, they're on these events and, trying to, tell everybody about what they do. But the thing is, once all of this stuff blows over and, every day we're one day closer. So, it's kind of, it'll be interesting to see who starts showing up and, see what happens.
Hmm. You're a great guy, man. You really pour yourself out for all these events, and you charge very little. People just have to drop their business card in. You must have the biggest email list, first of all. But you just keep pouring yourself out to make sure that people are connected. I got to hand it to you.
Well, I mean, it's just something that, it got started at one point and, there's really no reason to stop it. So, you just keep going, you just keep adding, making everything bigger. And, sooner or later you'll get somebody that, you're really, really going to help. So
Yeah, yeah.
that's why you just keep doing it.
So you got a new website.
Yes, thank you very much. It's www.businessinri.com. And it's kind of like addition to my newsletter. The newsletter will always be coming out, only maybe in a shorter format. But the website that you guys did for me, it came out great. Your training was absolutely fantastic. And no matter how many questions I asked you guys, you were always there for me. So now, we're on to, we'll be doing more stuff with that. But we're listing, a lot of stuff is on there. Venture Cafe, they send me stuff every week. A couple of the chambers of commerce send me stuff, but not all of them. And it's actually, between the newsletter and that, it's gotten so big that I can't go hunting for events. So if anybody wants to send me events that are happening, Zoom events, any kind of webinars, just send it to, Uncle Jay at unclejaynetwork.com. We'll make sure that gets on the newsletter and the Business NRI website.
Right. That's awesome. Jay, it's been great having you, man. I'm going to go to my next segment, but man, hang in there, okay? Don't leave Skype. Stay there. I'm going to bring you back into the scene. Think of a really funny joke. Not like the one you just told.
Okay.
No, that was good. That was good. All right, I'll check back with you in a few minutes. In about 10 minutes, okay?
Yeah. How about a poem?
How about a what?
How about a poem?
A poem? That would be good. Hey, Roan Midler's asking, I like this dude. What's his business? What business are you not in? But he wants to know what your business is. He's in Indianapolis.
I'm a independent sales representative. I represent a half a dozen companies. Primarily, one of the big ones is Cartridge World. So if there's no franchise in Indianapolis, let's talk.
Yeah, there you go. Indianapolis. Look for Copy World. Cartridge World. Cartridge World. But hang in there, folks. We're not done. We're going to the next segment, and then we'll be back with Jay with the closing joke. And believe me, this guy, Federal Hill kind of humor. Trust me. All right, we'll be back, Jay. That was great. Jay White, the man is in the house, the godfather of Rhode Island networking. All right. I'm going to just jump into this next one because it might actually take a little time. This next segment is called Dave Plays with Apps. Okay, ready? Here we go. Let me answer a few things. South Soccer. Uncle Jay rules. Yes. Jay is the best. He should do a poem by Andrew Dice Clay. He's probably related to Andrew Dice Clay. All right. On to no interrupting my segments. No interrupting my segments. This is Dave Plays with Apps, okay? This is an app that I think is pretty amazing. I don't know if you can see it here. Can I open this up? Can I open it up? Let me open it up. I'm gonna open it up. There it is. I opened it up so you can see it. It's PixKit. Actually, you know what? Better if I just did this. It's in the lower right corner, folks. Pix Kit. There it is. And let me show you what it looks like in its full glory, okay? Pix Kit. See that little, you can't see me. That little blue button at the bottom, you click, you tap that, and then it opens up your gallery. Whoa, okay, let me go back to half screen, okay? Open up your gallery. These are all the photos. Whole bunch of photos that I've taken. Oh, look, there's one of Steve, or different people here. All right, so I'm gonna grab this one. And it's downloading because it's everything's in the cloud. Everything's up in space. It's downloading. And 3, 2, 1. Takes a little while. That's a picture of me, as you know. You go, which way am I going? I'm going to go over here, okay? It's a picture of me. All right, so at the bottom, see this? You can pick whatever you want. There's a lot of apps that do this, but this one does, like last night at Dave Plays with Apps, I showed you the eraser to make a .png transparent file to lay a picture over animated video of water and ocean and all that, and that was really cool. It has that in this, okay? But look at this. This is called Child, all right? Which is pretty awesome. Let me blow it up again so you can see that. Flow, which is very high resolution, kind of pixelated a bit. This one is called Oil. It's like an oil painting. This is called Obama, which is really the Shepard Fairey poster, that red and blue that we've all come to know really well. This is Rich. This is Pixie. It's kind of pixelated, you know. I can't really blow it up. That's the bummer about this app. You can't click it and like blow it up. But there's graphite, stamp, sketch pencil. That's just one of the many things. So let me do this. All right. So I hit OK. And then let me open this up again so you can see it. So there's all kinds of things at the bottom. There's filters, there's art, exposure, glitch. Open up glitch. Raindrops to glitch. Look at that. It does some raindrops. I want to pinch it open. This is noise, neon, black and white glitch, blowout. Kind of cool. And then, you know, this paid things. VHS. This is pretty amazing stuff. Shake, Phantom. I love Phantom. Satellite, old TV, wavy, noise, dazzle. So if you want to spruce up your profile pic on your social media, do that. Oh, look at that. Extrude, Vtrude, Drost, aberration, the aberration of wobble. Zoom, that's cool. Echo, color. This is only one, these are just the filters, okay? It does a whole lot more. It erases the backgrounds that you don't want. It's got a rubber stamp tool just like Photoshop and all those other elements. But it's got let me see, you got tools right over here. You can do color splash, you know, where I can write. I can do the size, I can reduce it, opacity, I can change the color. I mean, it's like the photo app that I've been sharing like almost every night, but it's got everything in it. It's really, really good. So that is something for you to try. Let's see, what else do I have here? Dispersion. Let's do dispersion. And let me blow this back up again. All right, dispersion. Auto processing. Look at that. And then I move this up. It disperses the pixels. And I can change the direction. All right. I can stretch it out really far, real tight. Ready? Shards are the type of shards. See how they're different shards. Fade. It fades it in and out. I mean, I don't know. Why would you need that? I don't know. Here's the size of the shards. real small to real big. All right, so that's kind of cool. There's just a lot of things in here. I mean, I could spend hours on this thing. Rotate. You can flip it the other way. Mirror, mirror on the wall. You go back, and there's always a back button. So it's pretty cool. I like it. I am going to recommend PixKit. PICSKIT. PixKit. And it is 9:55. It's 5 minutes before the end, before I go on break, and I take my first day off. My first day off. Yes. I'm happy. But thank you guys for watching. You know, there's been over 5,000 views of all these videos, so that's amazing. What do we got? Paulo Costa, Ron Midler. I saw Andrew Dice Clay live at the Civic Center back in the day. You know you're old when you say the phrase "back in the day." Wavy Gravy, yeah, you know it, Steve Mason. Do they have one that will give you a little Hitler mustache? Inappropriate. Inappropriate, girlfriend. Let me go back to let me go back to this next scene. Inappropriate. So what do we got? And then Paul, you guys are just fighting. Ron Midler, where's that picture of you and the deer? And Jay posted this. Guys, go on here and save this in your favorites. Business in RI. Even if you're from Indianapolis, who goes there, right? Who lives in Indianapolis? I mean, really. But save it. You know, businessinri.com. Very cool app once again, says Rick Greenwood. Yeah, good seeing you again, my friend. Every night you're in the front row. I must be in the front row. All right, we have 4 minutes, and I got to get you kids to bed. I'm going to bring back Uncle Jay, and I think I can see him. You can't see him, but he's in a little room, a little window to the side. I'm going to bring him back, and he's got a joke. I hope it's very Rhode Island flavored. I don't know, maybe he's shaking his head. I don't know. I'm just going to let him go. Do you want to hear a joke? Say yes if you want to hear it. Say yes. Leave me a message telling me, yes, I would love to see it. All right, let me bring Jay back. What scene is he in? He's in scene 8. Here he is. Here he is again. Uncle Jay, you're back.
Dave, so let's do a poem instead.
You want to do a poem instead? Yeah, a poem is good. I like poems.
Now, you know, for Roan, I know a half a dozen Andrew Dice Clay poems, but they're not appropriate in almost any setting anymore.
Yeah, the Hickory Dickory Dock thing, and yeah.
Yes. So anyway, let's do a poem, all right?
Okay. Steve Mason says yes, by the way. He wants to see you do something.
The sun was shining brightly, and I could hardly wait to ponder at my window and gaze at my estate. The breeze was blowing briskly and made the flowers sway. The garden was enchanting on this inspiring day. My eyes fell upon a little bird with the cutest yellow bill. I beckoned him to come and light upon my windowsill. I smiled at him so cheerfully and gave him crusts of bread, and closed the window quickly and smashed his freaking head. Dave, have a great night.
On that note,
take care, everybody.
Yes, you are the best. You are the best. That's it, folks. Squished his head. So poetic. Jay White. There's only one Jay White. There's only one Jay White. Man, Uncle Jay White to many of you, by the way.
Want to hear a little trivia about Jay White?
Oh, wait a minute. He's talking to me. Hold on. I've never done this before, Jay. Hold on. He's calling me. Do you want to hear something else? Let me go back to interview is scene 8. Here we go. Okay.
So anyway, you know, years ago you would go onto Google or somewhere and put your name in and see who else came up.
Yep.
So I put Jay White in, and there was a guy who had been in Vegas for years, Neil Diamond impersonator. The #1 Neil Diamond impersonator in the world.
Is Jay White.
Name is Jay White.
Wow. Sweet Caroline. Come on.
There you go.
All right, let me go back to my other scene until he interrupts me again. And I'm open to that. He's got a bunch. Yeah, Middle is no longer invited. You get out of here, boy. Go back to Indianapolis. Dave Stebbin wants an encore. Corey Berkery says yes. Come on, Jay. You guys can't hear him. It's 10 o'clock. We still have 1 minute. We usually end at 1 minute. Jay, you got one more joke?
Dave, I can't. I'm under pressure. I'm not good under pressure with jokes.
Just think of something. Think of something with like a duck. Any duck jokes or animal jokes. I'm sure I got to throw something out there. But if you do, let me just say, yep, I got one more. And then I'm going to end the night. But guys, thank you.
Dave, I don't have one.
He says he doesn't have one. He does. If you were sitting with him at a cigar bar, he'd just run him off. Guys, thank you so much. Monday, we have a... who do we have? We have Mike Verrett from Verrett and Associates. And what he does is he teaches you how to be a public speaker. But he doesn't give you all that stuff to remember, like, don't fold your hands, don't do this, hold a glass of water, make sure you bring a water bottle with you, make sure to focus on someone over there, smile at this. He doesn't do that because he believes that just freaks people out. There's too much to remember. Instead, he goes into your brain and into your past and who you are and how you were hurt as a child and the dark stuff. I'm kidding. But he kind of goes into who you are as a person. And he just, it's going to be great. You got to tune in Monday night, 9 o'clock. Wine with Dave. And then Thursday of next week, I've got the Headsmen. They are two brothers who are in a band, Arizona. They called me up. And they want to be on Wine with Dave. I don't know how they heard about me. I think on LinkedIn. No, Instagram. So they're going to be on the show. And we've got... really interesting artist who I love her style. I met her in Connecticut, Elizabeth Moss, just like the actress. It's not Elizabeth Moss, the actress from that show, Mad Men or whatever. Her name is still Elizabeth Moss, and she's going to be on the show. And some other really cool connections. Maybe the writer from SNL will show up. I'm trying to get him on. And a few other surprises. You're going to love it. But hang in there, folks. Hang in there. What is this? One last thing. Are you going to have a segment with the... Okay, we turned that one off. No, we're not. But that would be good. That would boost the economy, right? That would boost the economy. Folks, it's 10:02. I got to get you kids to bed. That was the closing joke, was the poem. And I'm just going to end with what I do every night, as if I said something funny. So just pretend I told the joke that Jay told. Why did the chicken cross the road? To get to the other side. To get to the other side. In 5, 4, 3, 2,